Hi everyone, so my name is Mrs. Blakely. So I'm going to talk to you about food and nutrition, and I'm also going to talk to you about another course that we offer at Gcse, which is called Hospitality and Catering. So you've got a choice of two different food courses, and I'll run through the differences and the similarities between them. So these courses are suitable for anyone who's got a passion in food, who enjoys cooking, or wants to do a career in food. So have a think about the kind of things that you would like to do when you leave school. So are you wanting to become a chef? Or are you wanting to get into something like new product development in food, which is a really exciting, interesting job? Or are you wanting to set up your own business? We've had students before who've gone into the catering trade, but we've also had students who've gone into setting up their own business, and we've had students in particular who set up cake making businesses and things like that. We've also had a number of students who've gone on to work in the industry, but work in the area of dietetics and food science, and working in things like doctor surgeries and telling people to have a healthy diet. So it's quite a broad subject. And for half of it, for one of the elements, there's lots of science. So if you are interested in that element, you should be going for the GCSE. And if you are interested in being a chef, then you need to think about hospitality and catering. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the content now. So both courses have got a fairly big sized chunk of coursework. So there is 50% coursework in GCSE food, and there is 60% coursework in hospitality and catering, so slightly more weighting there in the hospitality and catering qualification. And in both subjects, the rest of the qualification is an exam, which you would sit in year 11 if you were doing the food GCSE, and in hospitality and catering, you would sit your exam in year 10. The hospitality and catering exam in year 10 allows you to actually have a second go at it if you need to in year 11, and if not, you can just bank your qualification and do the coursework. So they are suitable courses for people who like coursework. We start the coursework in September in year 11, and we finish it around February, March time. So it's quite a lot of time that you've got to be quite disciplined getting on with your coursework in order to secure a good grade. And of course, we do loads of practical work as well. So remember, you would need to bring ingredients every week for whichever course you do. We have had some students in the past who've chosen to do food science, GCSE, and to do hospitality and catering. We wouldn't recommend that because you would be cooking multiple times a week, and they are similar qualifications, and the content is very similar. So you would find that you are making the same dishes with each course. So we wouldn't recommend doing that. It's also difficult to do a DT or a textiles qualification for GCSE and one of the food ones because of the amount of coursework that you've got. So think really carefully about that before you choose them. So what other things do we do? Well, we get the chance to enter exciting competitions, and we go on trips when we're allowed to, and we go to places like Wooding Park, and we go to the Marks and Spencer's archives to find out how food science works in practice. When they develop the melt in the middle chocolate pudding, that's a really nice trip, and you enjoy tasting the pudding and finding out about the science of the filling. And you will learn skills that will make you employable, but you will also learn skills for life, because if you can't have a healthy diet and you don't know how to cook, you're going to struggle when you're a bit older. So, two choices: hospitality and catering, or food prep and nutrition. And myself, that's Mrs. Blakely, and Mrs. Williams, who teaches in TE1, the food teacher, we both teach both courses, and we often split them between us as well. So you would probably get both teachers. So, what kind of things are you going to learn practical wise? Well, you're going to learn essential knife skills. We start both courses off with this. So you would be trained up to have your basic chefing skills. You would learn how to fillet fish and joint chicken, and we would then make that into a full dish. So we do things like baked wedges and fish goujons, and we look at trying to put a healthy slant on some of the things that you might have from takeaways in particular. And we do competitions like the Omelette challenge. You can see the students competing there against each other. And you learn high-level skills like fresh pasta, ravioli, tortellini, and we make all our different sauces, and we make pastry and puff pastry and things like that. make sheep pastry, and make some lovely profiteroles. So the practical work is pretty much the same in both courses. However, this is the content for the GCSE Food Prep and Nutrition. So subject content is slightly different. So you do food prep skills, you then do an element of food science, and that's unique to the GCSE. So if you are not keen on science, I wouldn't choose the GCSE, because one of your coursework projects, task one, 15% of your entire qualification, is a food science investigation, where you will be given a task, you'll come up with a hypothesis, and you will then work towards that. The final task two is very similar to the qualification in hospitality and catering. You're given a brief and you've got to design 3 dishes that you would serve in a particular setting. This year's setting is design 3 dishes that could be served as street food, international street food. So the students are making things like spring rolls and little pastries and pasta pots, and they're making everything from scratch. So that's the kind of thing that you do for coursework. And of course, it's 35% of your mark. So the page count reflects that. There's about 20 A4 sides to do for coursework. The final element is your exam, and your exam is a mixture of multiple choice, and it's also essay style questions, and you get tested on everything that you've learned. So food science, food safety, food choice, and food provenance. So thinking about where food comes from. Food choice is things like looking into religion and looking at special diets like celiac, etc. So that's the GCSE. The hospitality and catering is very similar, although the exam is 40% and the coursework is 60%, and the content is more geared up towards working in the hospitality and catering industry. So you'll learn about nutrition and food safety as you do in the other qualification GCSE, but you'll also learn about the structure and the hierarchy in the food industry, in the hospitality and catering industry, and you'll learn about types of service, and you'll get learn some information on financing a business. There's a little bit of business studies in there as well. So big chunk of coursework, 60% this time, so it needs to be something that you are going to enjoy, because you're going to be spending the best part of the year doing that coursework. So we often get asked, what is the difference? So just to outline the differences there is a different weighting on the exam in the qualifications. In year 10, you get to do your hospitality and catering exam, which gives you the chance to resit or to just bank your mark and allow you to focus on coursework in year 11. And the food prep and nutrition GCSE, the exam is in year 11, as is your other subjects. Coursework is 1 project in hospitality and catering, it's 2, one of them being food science in the food prep and nutrition qualification for GCSE. And the content is very, very similar, so we wouldn't recommend doing both. But if you have an interest in the hospitality industry, choose hospitality and catering. And if you are more geared towards science, dietetics, doing a university degree in food prep and nutrition, then you would need to take the GCSE. The hospitality and catering is more geared up for if you wanted to go in the chefing industry, to run your own business, or to do a hospitality and catering style degree at university. So please do come and speak to me, Mrs. Blakely, or Mrs. Williams, and we will be more than happy to show you some coursework and some of the exams from previous years, and come and have a chat with us about the content and suitability. Okay, bye.